All right, let's talk about the word competency. It's a word we throw around all the time at work, right? Especially when it comes to performance. But what if I told you that by deconstructing this one simple word, you can unlock a seriously powerful and practical framework for managing your team?
I mean, really think about it for a second. What does that word actually mean? If you're like most of us, well, it's a little fuzzy, isn't it? It's one of those big, important-sounding business words that we use so often it's kind of lost its sharp edge, and that ambiguity can cause a lot of problems.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by looking at the problem, what I call the competency conundrum. Then we'll break it down into 3 simple parts: knowledge, skill, and behavior. After that, we'll see how this framework works in the real world, and finally, I'll show you how this becomes your new management superpower.
All right, first up, the conundrum. Why is being so vague about competency such a headache for pretty much every manager out there? Here's the heart of the issue. We're using this one single word as a catch-all for a whole bunch of completely different things. And when you do that, of course things get confusing. It's why you might hire someone who aced the interview but can't do the job, or why you send someone to a training course and nothing changes. It's just inefficient, and let's be honest, it's super frustrating.
But here's the solution. What if we just stopped thinking about competency as one giant, mysterious block? This brings us right to the core idea of this whole framework, the 3 pillars that hold up true competency.
That's it, 3. This is the magic number. The entire key is to stop seeing competency as one thing and start seeing it as 3 separate, distinct, and much more manageable parts. And trust me, that simple little shift in how you see things, it changes everything. Okay, pillar number 1 is knowledge. This is the what you know part. It's pure information. It's the facts, the figures, the procedures that are stored up in your brain. You can think of it as the stuff you could test with a pop quiz. Do you know the rules of HR law? That's knowledge. Next, we have skill. This isn't what you know, it's what you can do. This is the know-how. It's an ability you can only build through practice. You can read 5 books about how a bicycle works. That's knowledge. But actually getting on the bike and riding it down the street without face planting, that, my friends, is a skill. And our third and final pillar is behavior. This is all about how you act. It's your attitude made visible. It's the know how to be. It's the things we can actually see and observe in how you respond to different situations. A perfect example is something like a service mind. It's not a poster on the wall, it's the actual observable behavior of smiling at a customer or genuinely thanking them for feedback. So when you lay them all out side by side like this, it just clicks, right? Knowledge is what you know. Skill is what you can do. And behavior is how you act. Think about giving a great presentation. It takes knowledge of your subject, sure, but it also requires the skill of public speaking and maybe the behavior of proactively helping a colleague who's struggling with their part. They're all different. Okay, so the theory is simple enough, but let's get down to brass tacks. How does this knowledge, skill, behavior framework, or KSB, actually help you solve problems in the real world, day to day? We're going to look at the 3 big ones, the most critical parts of people management: how we hire people, how we evaluate their performance, and how we actually help them grow. Using the right tool for the right job is about to get a whole lot simpler. Let's start with hiring. Stop using the same interview questions for everything. If you need to know if someone has the knowledge, give them a technical interview or even a short exam. If you need to see if they have a skill, like coding or designing something, you have to see them do it. Give them a work demo, a practical test. And for behavior, that's where you use those classic "tell me about a time when" questions. You're not asking for a right answer, you're trying to see how they act. The same logic brings so much clarity to performance reviews. Is an employee making mistakes? Don't just say they're not competent. Figure out why. Is it a knowledge gap? You can test for that. Are they just slow at a task? That's a skill issue, which you can only assess by observing them doing the work. Are people complaining about their attitude? Well, that's a behavior problem. And the best tools for that are 360-degree feedback and your own direct observation over time.
Now, this is so important when it comes to development, because the solution is different for each one. Got a knowledge gap? Great, set them to a training course. That's an easy fix. But to build a skill, a course isn't enough. They need practice, they need reps, they need coaching. And behavior? Well, behavior is the trickiest one. Honestly, the best strategy is to hire for the behaviors you want from the start. After that, all you can really do is reinforce and coach. It is incredibly hard to train a core behavior into someone.
So when you start putting all of this together, you move out of that fuzzy, confusing world and into a place of real clarity.
And I'm not exaggerating when I say this becomes a genuine superpower for any manager or leader. So what's the big payoff for thinking this way? It's huge. You start hiring the right people because you're using the right tools to find them. You evaluate your team's performance way more accurately and fairly, and you can build development plans that are targeted, efficient, and that actually work, because you're finally addressing the real root of the issue, whether it's knowledge, skill, or behavior.
And this quote really says it all. The moment you can clearly define if you're dealing with a knowledge, skill, or behavior issue, that's the moment you can start making smart, appropriate plans to help your people grow. It's the absolute key to unlocking their potential and yours as a manager.
So I'll leave you with this question to take back to your own team. The very next time you think so-and-so needs to improve their competency in X, I want you to stop and ask yourself, what do I really mean? Is it a skill that I can help them train with practice and good coaching? Or is it a behavior that maybe I should have hired for in the first place? The answer to that question will fundamentally change the way you lead.